I'll bet you Miss Kate Somerville does not have to deal with this nonsense that is rainy New York, where the flags across the street are just flopping every which direction that they want to. No, because she's in sunny LA. No, let's actually bring her radiant, glowy sunshine over here and talk about my favorite Kate Somerville products, best of the brand, if you will. Now, I've done these before in the past, on like makeup brands. I've done NARS, I've done Chanel. I haven't done Sunday Riley. I've done about the oils, and I'm still thinking about like what can I keep doing? What other brands should I talk about? And actually, that's something that you guys can help me out with and let me know below what brands you would like me to discuss next. Thinking of Dennis Gross. Dr. Dennis Gross could be pretty nice. I'm just mainly thinking about products and brands that I've tried a lot of products from, because it's hard to say, oh, I've tried this and I loved it, and then all the other products suck. So Kate Somerville is a brand that I'll tell you the truth, for the longest time I was like, I don't get it. It's not bad, I don't get it. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, hang on, okay, so let me try this. And whenever I would be working in store, I would just kind of pick a product up and play with it for a little while and then take a sample and then try it and be like, okay, hang on. So slowly but surely, my Kate Somerville collection is now huge. So let's talk about what I love the most. I'm not even going to talk about the ones that I feel average about, because that's not the point. So let's jump into it. Let's sort of go, if you will, in the order of which you would do things. So let's talk about the KateCeuticals. If you hear the rain, it's going to sound like static on a TV or something. Let's talk about the KateCeuticals Replenishing Toner. The interesting thing about this is I don't actually use this as a toner. I use a separate toner and then press this on top of my skin the way that you would an essence, like a First Essence or a treatment lotion or something like that. And the reason for that is I'll show you. It is really, really kind of milky and serumy, right? It's not like all that watery, but with that said, it's not thick and kind of glycol-y and heavy. I love this because it immediately makes my skin feel really plush. It immediately hydrates and kind of makes the skin sort of feel and look a little bit plumper and smoother. I don't know if you can tell by just doing that how much more hydrated this skin looks and plumper. The formula's got a lot of things like peptides, plant extracts, ceramides. I think it's just a very well-rounded formula. There are some essential oils from citrus plants, so just keep that in mind. But you do have everything from a peptide to aloe vera to ginger to ceramides to beta-glucan. You just have, I think, a really good kind of variety of products. And it's all sort of mixed in. It's not like, oh, your peptides are up here and then your ceramides and your hyaluronic and your beta-glucan are all down here. They're all sort of kind of mixed in, and they're all, I think, at really high concentrations, which I really like. So I love that. I think the clarifying toner is fantastic, but I think this is just exemplary, and the way that I use it, which is, again, as an essence, not a toner, I really like. As a toner, it's okay, but I'd rather press it into my skin. Let's talk about the Clinic To Go pads. Again, so ridiculous. It comes with a little kind of sleeve. You just kind of pop your finger in here, peel this off. This is a lactic acid based exfoliant. So each pad is soaked and kind of sealed, so you can travel with these no problem. It's lactic acid based. There's like kind of like, I think, a radish or like an onion bulb extract. I think, don't quote me on this, I don't want to get in trouble, but I think this was sort of her answer to Biologique Recherche Lotion P50, because it is lactic acid based. It is sort of that phenol root extract kind of formula. This one doesn't stink at all, and it does kind of, you do notice it working, like it has a bit of a tingle to it. So I love this. I think between this and ExfoliKate, I would take this over ExfoliKate any day, but that brings me on to ExfoliKate. I love ExfoliKate. I don't like scrubs. You know me, I don't like scrubs. I don't really believe in scrubs. I do this once every couple of months or something like that, and I actually can't find my full size, which is fun. So I don't know if I should be worried. I don't know where it is, but I have this small size that I travel with, and I think it's effective, it works, it smells great, it's green. I think it's a really effective product, and if you use it correctly and you don't necessarily, I do it a little bit differently. Like I don't scrub it. I apply it with as minimal contact as I can, and I just let it sit and then rinse it off like a leave-on exfoliating mask or something, and not a scrub. I love it in that context. I don't necessarily like the scrubbing aspect of it, but I think it is her cult product, and I think it's absolutely worth having in your arsenal just to use every once in a while. You know, I wouldn't get crazy with it. I couldn't personally imagine using it 2 to 3 times a week as directed. No thank you. My face would fall off. Let's talk about the Nourish Hydrating Firming Mist. Probably one of my favorite products from her range out of the ones that I have. This is my favorite mist, bar none. The reason I love it so much is it's so fine that you can take 15 pumps of it, spray it all over your face and your neck, and it won't become too much. There's not really a point where it reaches like, oh, I've misted myself too much. And I think the formula is really great. There's peptides in it. It does have a little bit of like a clay to it, so it's not mattifying, but I think that little bit of clay prevents it from becoming too heavy, too shiny, too glossy. There's lavender, orange. It's very calming, very soothing. It has the Nourish scent to it. And I love the fineness of the mist. So you really don't get any little water droplets on the skin at all. It just is a very, very fine mist. And I think it's exemplary in that aspect. Let's talk about DermalQuench Liquid Lift. If there's nothing more instantly hydrating than this, which there are, let's be fair, I love a lot of other hydrating products, but I think this hydrates the skin on contact. Here's the funny thing, it does what it says it's supposed to do. So it immediately, I think, relaxes the look of wrinkles, kind of plumps the skin out, makes it feel hydrated, makes it look hydrated, and kind of cuts down any inflammation. And formula-wise, it's got a lot of good things in it. You know, you've got hyaluronic acid, you've got your peptides, you've got your plant-derived kind of lipid-rich ingredients, and I think it works. I didn't really want to believe it at first because it seems like it could be very gimmicky, but the proof is in the pudding. It works, and I'll always have this on hand. I just love it. Serum-wise, you guys know I love the Quench oil-free. I think, to me, this is the best serum that she makes because I think it's the most universal. It is an age prevention serum, so I wouldn't necessarily reach for this if you feel you already have deep lines or dark spots, but if you want to prevent them from happening, or you've done your reversal treatment and you want to prevent new ones from forming, that's when I would reach for this. Here's the thing. The original Quench serum does not have oil in it, to my knowledge, so I don't know why this is oil-free, but it doesn't have that same silicone texture as the Quench serum, and I feel it is much more hydrating than the original Quench serum, which I also like, just not as much as this. I think it's a lot more plant-derived ingredients than some of her other products, so if you're concerned about that, I think this is a great product to reach for. And I love the packaging. I'm sorry, that just looks so chic. It shouldn't matter, but it does. Let's jump into moisturizers, and this is where I'm going to sort of bring this to the end. I think Kate Somerville does some of the best moisturizers on the market, which is saying a lot, right? Let's talk about Nourish, which I think this is, to me, one of my favorite moisturizers that I've ever used, and it's one of those products along with the Nourish, and as I drop it, and I think the DermalQuench that I will just always have on hand, just always, because I always find myself wanting to reach for it, wanting to use it. My favorite way to use this is actually over Sunday Riley Artemis or over any oil because it is that watery cream texture. It doesn't have a lot of density to it, so it just kind of sinks in on contact. And in fact, I feel like the way that it feels over an oil is not really, there's not words in the English language to describe it. Beyond that, there's lots of matrixyl, there's lots of other plant-derived ingredients, and again, peptides. Do I think this is the best moisturizer for super sensitive skin? Not necessarily. There are some citrus extracts, so if you don't deal well with those, maybe stay away from this and talk about the next one that I'm gonna, or use the next one that I'm gonna talk about. But if your skin doesn't tend to be hypersensitive to anything that you put on your skin, I think it's a great moisturizer, and I just love putting this on. I love applying it. Next, let's talk about goat milk. One of the more unique formulas that you can buy in Sephora or department stores or kind of any beauty retailers that are, you know, nationwide. It's free of water, so if you tend to have really dehydrated skin, this could be a nice product for you because there's no water that could then evaporate off your skin. It's more or less going to trap it in with the natural lactic acid found in the lactose from the goat milk that's in here. It's aloe vera based, there's coconut oil, which is great, rosemary, there's avocado, and jojoba, and I'm on my 3rd jar of this. And actually, I will tell you, the first 2 my mom stole from me because she likes it that much. Her favorite component is the packaging, and that is something that I feel like Kate Somerville always does really well. Her eye creams are in pumps, her moisturizers are in a jar, but it's completely airtight and you can control what you need. And all of her cleansers are either in a pump or a squeeze. There's nothing that's kind of finicky about it. I think this is a great product if you have sensitive skin, acne-prone skin, dry or dehydrated skin, or you just need a little TLC. That's when I'd reach for this. Then from the anti-aging perspective, deep tissue repair. Now, this I have heard is going away, being discontinued, so if you love it, buy a million of them now. And if you don't, if you wanted to try it, get it while they still have stock. I've actually seen a lot of the Sephoras in Manhattan have actually gotten rid of it. Maybe it's returned to vendor or sell-through or whatever. I think this is a great product. I think it's a really good moisturizer. Caroline Hirons, which we know and love, says that she uses this as a serum. I don't actually think that there's as much treatment in it as a serum product. So I actually use this more as a moisturizer, but here's my thing. The way that it smells is just the stamp on the envelope, you know, for me, right? It's just, oh my god. It's like fresh nectarines. I can't even physically handle it. I just, nope, gone. It's a good formula. I don't know if it's the most anti-aging moisturizer that you can buy, in my opinion, but I think it's still a great product, and if you have been wanting to try it or you love it, get it while you can, because I've heard that it's going away. So, yes, so that completes my what do I love from Kate Somerville. I know a lot of you have actually tried these products as well, and a lot of you love them as well, so I'd love to hear your feedback on that, because at the end of the day, it's not just about me, it's about what you guys feel and think as well, so, and that's important to me, so please leave your feedback below on what you love, what you like that I mentioned, or what else you love, and all of that sort of thing. Let's get that conversation going. Leave them below, and I'll talk to you guys really soon. Bye!